On January 27th, 1991, in Tampa, Florida, our could have been Hall of Fame kicker Scott Norwood missed a 47-yard field goal on the last relevant play of Super Bowl 25. Not only did that not give Buffalo their first Super Bowl victory ever, but it led to a downward spiral that continued until Josh Allen became a relevant quarterback in the NFL. So you can imagine our frustrations over a period of time that long. It's been exhausting. It's been demoralizing. And at times it's even been enraging. There was the Music City Miracle, which was, it basically marked the end of a trinity. And I call that team a trinity because they didn't win 4 Super Bowls straight, but they went to 4 Super Bowls straight now. I don't think anybody will ever do that again. Point being, it's been miserable, and it's been one failure after another, after another, after another, and one false promise after another, after another, after another, and more. So this is where I go to die as a player after another, after another, after another, as is the most famous case being T.O., who told us to get our popcorn ready so it could be totally irrelevant for 16 games. We also had Dick Duran, who almost made every single fan want to kill him because it was obvious by his monotone facial expression that the only thing he was there for was to collect a paycheck. And I mean no disrespect to Brian Moorman by saying this, because Brian Moorman's a cool dude who didn't complain about getting demolished by Sean Taylor in the Pro Bowl. There was also a time when somebody thought it would be a good idea to replace Doug Flutie with Rob Johnson. There was also 13 seconds, which I'd wake up screaming about if I were crazy. Still haven't watched that game since because it's the most inexcusable loss we've ever had. For about 15 years, I would say the only type of quarterback we had was a mid-level quarterback that you knew was never going to take you to the playoffs. So when we got Josh Allen, I was indifferent to his pick because I figured he would just be a durable Trent Edwards and maybe get us 10 wins. There was a time when the Bills going 7-9 was a winning season for us in our heads, because that's how bad we usually were. We paid Mario Williams $99 million to do nothing but develop a pill addiction and then go somewhere else. We had a player, Kevin Everett, nearly killed on the field, and definitely I thought was paralyzed from the neck down. We had J.P. Lossman as a quarterback who was a one-trick pony because the only time he was ever useful was when he was launching a bomb down the field to Lee Evans. We were, prior to Josh Allen, we were almost never able to recruit people who actually wanted to be here. And when we made superstars out of above average players, the first thing most of them did when their contracts expired was go somewhere else. I could keep going and going and going and going and going because it's been a difference of like 30 years. And we've suffered massively because of it. I wouldn't say as badly as Lions fans, because I don't know if they've ever had a reason to care about that team except for Megatron and Barry Sanders. But the point of all this is that Von Miller keeps saying that OBJ is coming to Buffalo and that the Bills are going to the Super Bowl this year and that the Bills are going to win it. You know, after hearing enough false promises in the context of football and the Buffalo Bills specifically. Oh, there was also that time that Bon Jovi tried to move us to Canada, which was fucking stupid because he would have got killed for trying, or if he'd done it. But anyway, Von Miller, if you were going to promise that the Bills are going to get OBJ and go to the Super Bowl and win it this year, then you better sure damn well be able to cash that check. Because after everything Bills fans have suffered through over the last 3 decades, the last thing we need, the absolute last thing we need, is another false promise from a great player who we start to wonder if maybe he only came here for the money. Promising that we're going to go to the Super Bowl and win it is great, but it's also difficult to believe when you just only barely beat the Kansas City Chiefs by 4 points and both of their defensive backs were rookies. They're going to be healthy soon. Can the Buffalo Bills beat the Chiefs when they're healthy? You better hope so, because if you can't, we're not going to the Super Bowl, and signing you may have very well been pointless because of it.